Hey, true believers, Englentine here with part 4 of the conversation between me and Nerdette, Tristan from Nerdette's Newstand. This time around, we bring up a book. It came out last week. I say it came out this week when we recorded it, but it was the Sensational Comics starring Wonder Woman, and it's the one where the kid goes to school dressed as Wonder Woman. And we talk a little bit about it. We talk about how some people lost their minds over it, what we thought of it. I really kind of want to do a full review of it after I've read it a couple of times. And we kind of touch upon some of the stuff I would say, but not actually. Anyway, you know what? Just watch. Kick back, relax, enjoy. Recently, as a matter of fact, this Wednesday or today, came out yesterday officially. There's a Wonder Woman book that's causing all sorts of stir because
I loved it.
You open it up, this book, and the first thing you see is this little kid, and he's going to school dressed as Wonder Woman. And he's got shorts on, by the way. It's not a skirt, it's shorts. Look at it again. And he's wearing a cape and a loose-fitting tank top, and he's basically dressed like Wonder Woman. And it does look like it's a boy in girl's clothing. But that's the point. They want us at the end. He's saying, wearing your clothes makes me feel like more me. I was really hoping Wonder Woman says, well, let's find the right uniform for you, and then you'll really be. But it occurred to me once again, you're missing a great story here, because wouldn't it have been awesome if it was okay, there you go. All right. Yeah. See, that's shorts. It's not a freaking skirt. But wouldn't that have been better to say it's okay to like something more feminine had they made him a more boyish boy, where he's wearing a Wonder Woman shirt and it's like almost like a man's version of this outfit, or something more closer, I guess, to the Palicki outfit from the TV show, where it's pants and the bracelets and all that, and he's rocking out Wonder Woman while still looking like a guy. And then the message is, it doesn't matter who you are, it matters what you love. It matters that we're all in this together. We all enjoy this hobby. But I'll tell you what, the story itself is actually not bad. It's not great.
Right.
It reminded me very much of like a 1980s cartoon.
Yeah.
But I just thought, this is a missed opportunity. We know this story is out there because this story is now being told a lot. But what you don't hear is that it is okay to actually be a man and be a Wonder Woman fan, or to the point where you can wear the t-shirt, you can wear the bracelets, and you can rock out as Wonder Woman. Not so much as we see at every freaking con, to the point where, not impressed anymore, where you're wearing the Wonder Woman outfit from the movies. You don't need to, because it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, you should be able to like what you like. And I think that, once again, I read through it and I thought, wow, that's a missed opportunity. It's a decent story, but a huge missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Why is that is simply causing a stir because of what he's wearing?
Yeah, of course. Right now, I was talking to my wife about this. Right now, we do know by their words. I'm not making this up. This is not speculation. We do know by their own words that there is an actual agenda, that they do want to push not just the identity politics, but their own politics through the comics. So that makes people, as we were talking, more sensitive to it. It makes us more reactionary to it as well. So it's hard to read stuff like this as just a story and not an agenda. And then maybe we'll put a story in there. So this thing, I think, actually would have caused less of a stir 30 years ago than it would today. The book feels like an older story anyway, but I actually think it would cause less of a stir. You wouldn't believe how few people talked about the transgenderism, the lesbianism, the homosexuality in the Sandman. back in the 1980s and 90s.
Oh yeah.
Very few people brought that up because the story came first. Right now, the feeling is that the agenda is always coming first. Therefore, if it's put into a story,
saying there's an agenda? You keep saying they're saying, but who's they?
Well, I already talked about Tom Taylor. You do know Vita Ayala. They're saying they're putting. I'm not putting these words in their mouth. They are saying they're putting their politics in. They're saying they're putting their. We're having a conversation. I didn't bring notes.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
So if you're saying, but what I'm saying is here, two people that have very little power. Tom, I would say, has quite a bit more.
Well, obviously, editorial agrees with them, or these stories wouldn't pass. Or at least they would say, you would say, why are you doing this? Why do you? What narrative reason do we have to make Tim Drake gay?
Tim, I could agree with you on, but I don't see their reason usually is some sort of representation, right? Or some sort of trying to expand when it comes to having a more global audience.
Well, in this case, if let's say there's no real agenda, okay, and there might not be.
I think there's an agenda of one when it comes to Vita and Tom.
Well, let's just say this particular story, no real agenda. It doesn't matter because we've been inundated with the agenda to the point where, and this was the point I was trying to make, is that we are now more sensitive to it. So even if it's just presented, it comes off as part of the agenda. It's just right now everybody is a little bit everybody's just a little bit on edge as far as
I get that, but I don't think it's everybody. I think it's
you're right. I'm using absolute words. I apologize for that. You're right.
No, I just think there's a lot of people on both sides that are looking at this as something, but they're like a very small, like you talk about Twitter. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Oh no, I can. Okay. I'm sorry to be rude, but I'm getting a little bit of dry mouth. So.
No, you're totally fine. I don't think that, what is it, like 5% of the buying audience is on Twitter?
That's true.
It's a very small percentage that are either A, upset, or B, putting an agenda in. And I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of speculators for one. And the people that are buying the books, 90% of them are just normies wanting to enjoy the story. And they're not looking at it going, this person's gay. Oh my God. And it's an agenda. They're just going, okay, well, John Kent is gay. Okay. And move on with their lives.
That could be very well. But as you said, only 5% of the comic book reading population is on Twitter. So we only know the opinions of 5%.
Which sucks, but I think even going to a normal comic book shop, you're not going to have these same conversations. You're not going to have. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm interrupting you. Please, by all means.
No, I just think you're going to have normal comic book talk. You're going to have these, and there's nothing wrong with having these conversations. I don't mean that. I just mean like comics have always been left leaning. I think fans are kind of just used to this. And I know there was, and that brings us back to the Comics Gate of it all, which is where you started. I know you're not really associated with them now anymore, but
but remember also when we started, it was a customer revolution. It wasn't
right. It wasn't
it became, and nobody I know was into it when the war campaign was on it. If you look at me and my friends, the people, or even the people who were associated with the channel and moved on, none of them would have anything to do with that group. It was just, So anyway.
It became kind of, I don't know, a networking Ponzi scheme thing. I don't know. I don't pay attention.
I wouldn't go so far as to say Ponzi scheme because I just don't know enough about it. But
that's true. That's true.
And plus, I do have to show my own wall of shame. I asked people to commission a video. I still have about 20 videos I need to get to. So,
oh my goodness,
yeah, I need to do it. Well, in all honesty, that's not true. I was asked to do a Tom King. Was Tom King ever really that good? So I gave myself the task of reading through 6 of his stories.
Mm-hmm. Did you
So
put Mr.
really,
Miracle on there?
Yeah, really, I made one video into 7. So yeah. But I also wanted to do that because I never read the Vision. I never read the Omega Men and such. So, okay, was he really any good? I think you can ask that about a few people now. Yeah.
I think Tom King had his glory days. I think I absolutely will still give him the benefit of the doubt because of stuff like Vision and Mr. Miracle and even the Button stuff. But now I'm a trade waiter for him. Like I can't.
Now I've started to understand there's a pattern to Tom King. See, when my channel was on the rise and I was doing good, we do these. We did anyway. I don't have enough voters anymore, but I used to do the Spirit Awards and the Gabby Awards. Now, Spirit Awards were for best comics, and Gabby Awards were for the worst comics.
Yeah, you don't do that anymore.
I don't have enough voters. People, I'm not being shared around, so people aren't coming onto the channel to vote for their favorite comics or the worst comics. And it got to the point where there's 7 votes. Okay, it's just not the same. So I would love to, by the way, love to. So if you want to send the Newstanders over there during Gabby season,
would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Because when at the height, I was getting hundreds of voters. But the thing was, when we did the Spirit Awards, the first Spirit Awards, Tom King ruled everything. And 6 months later, I did the second one because people, I found out everybody was forgetting stories. Like, you remember January to June, but when it came to June, all the awards were like for the last 3 months because nobody remembered the first part of the year. So in June, just 6 months later, at the end of Mr. Miracle, it was the Mr. Miracle story. The beginning, oh my gosh, Tom King's so wonderful. It's great. It's great. It's wonderful. And then he won everything for the worst for the Gabby Awards.
Oh, wow.
The last half of Mr. Miracle. And I was like, what the hell happened? I didn't read it. My brother was on the channel at the time. He was reviewing it. I'm like, what happened to Mr. Miracle to make everyone hate it?
I love Mr. Miracle. That surprises me.
Yeah, the last half just...
Really?
Black Phoenix like, wait, no more Gabby Awards? If I have the voters for it, I would love to do it. If you guys...
Everybody listening, vote if he does it. Because those videos are so fun.
I'll put up the Gabby Awards. The Gabby Awards, of course, usually gets more anyway because it's the worst of the year. Gabby, they're named after Gabby Rivera, who did the America Chavez book, which is the Rocky Horror of comic books, in my opinion. It is.
Wait, what? Are you saying something bad about Rocky Horror?
No, I'm saying something good about Rocky Horror.
Okay.
Rocky Horror is a bad movie, but it's so enjoyable. And that's the same way I feel about America Chavez, written by Gabby Rivera. It's god awful in such a glorious way. The one scene, I always point to the one scene, issue number 5, where America flies off with her girlfriend, and there's Kate Bishop. Oh, I wish I could only feel the love that they feel, for only lesbian love is the true love.
Oh my.
Yeah, I
never read it.
I'm paraphrasing, but that is in that book. I kid you not. So yeah, it's amazingly bad. Yeah.
I never read it just because I had heard how bad it was. And sometimes I'd be surprised, like lately I've been hearing stuff's bad and I'll go back and read it and I'm like, wait, I like this. Like everything's a little bit subjective, but yeah, I don't think I can handle that one. I just don't think my brain can manage. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's amazing to me how much that comic book is worth now because she was announced to be in a Doctor Strange movie. So there you go, gang. Those were our thoughts on the subjects. And let me ask you something. At the end, we talked about America Chavez. Would you, because I've been wanting to re-record those videos. They were done with my original mic, which wasn't as good. Would you like to see that? I don't know how that works or something. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about the video and what we said and all that kind of stuff as well. And do all the clicking and the liking and the subbing. You know the drill. It helps us out. It costs you nothing. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that. To everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.